Studying for AWS certification? Quick check. 10 more essential services every CCP candidate needs to know. Databases, storage, messaging, and more. Let's go. Question 1. Which AWS service is this? Amazon DynamoDB. DynamoDB is a fully managed NoSQL database that delivers single-digit millisecond performance at any scale. Unlike a relational database with fixed rows and columns, DynamoDB stores items as key-value pairs or JSON-like documents, perfect for apps that need to handle millions of requests per second. Think of it as a supercharged lookup table that scales automatically with your traffic. For the CCP exam, DynamoDB is AWS's flagship NoSQL offering. Know that it's serverless, automatically scales, and is highly available across multiple availability zones. The icon is a solid orange diamond, sharp, fast, and precise. Amazon DynamoDB. Question 2. Which AWS service is this? Amazon CloudFront. CloudFront is AWS's Content Delivery Network, a CDN. It caches your content at edge locations around the world so users get fast load times regardless of where they are. A user in Tokyo requesting a video stored in Ireland gets it served from the nearest CloudFront edge, not all the way from Ireland. For the CCP exam, CloudFront sits in front of S3, EC2, or any HTTP origin and dramatically reduces latency for global users. It's also where you attach AWS WAF for Layer 7 protection and AWS Shield Advanced for DDoS defense. The icon is a cloud with a small circle in front, global delivery in action. Amazon CloudFront. Question 3. Which AWS service is this? Amazon EBS, Elastic Block Store. EBS provides persistent block storage volumes that you attach to EC2 instances. Think of it as a virtual hard drive in the cloud. Unlike the instance's local storage, which disappears when you stop the instance, EBS volumes survive restarts and can be detached and reattached to different instances. For the CCP exam, EBS is the default storage for EC2 workloads that need persistent, low-latency disk access. Databases, OS volumes, application data. Know that EBS volumes live in a single availability zone, so they don't automatically span AZs like S3 does. The icon is a small cylinder, the universal symbol for block storage. Amazon EBS. Question 4. Which AWS service is this? Amazon EFS, Elastic File System. EFS is a fully managed Elastic NFS file system that multiple EC2 instances can mount simultaneously, like a shared network drive in the cloud. Where EBS attaches to a single instance, EFS can be accessed by dozens of instances across multiple availability zones at the same time. Think of it as a shared folder that scales automatically and never runs out of space. For the CCP exam, EFS is the answer when a question involves multiple instances sharing the same files, a web farm serving the same content, a rendering cluster processing the same assets. The icon is a small file cabinet, shared, structured, persistent. Amazon EFS. Question 5. Which AWS service is this? Amazon S3 Glacier. Glacier is AWS's archival storage service, designed for data you rarely access but must keep for years. Think of it as a deep freezer for your data. Retrieval takes minutes to hours depending on the tier, but the storage cost is a fraction of standard S3. For the CCP exam, Glacier is the answer whenever a question involves long-term retention, compliance archiving, or minimizing storage costs for infrequently accessed data. Know the retrieval tiers: instant, flexible, and deep archive, each trading retrieval speed for lower cost. The icon is a small snowflake, cold storage, frozen in time. Amazon S3 Glacier. Question 6. Which AWS service is this? Amazon SQS. Simple Queue Service. SQS is a fully managed message queue that decouples the components of a distributed application. One service puts a message in the queue, another service reads and processes it, independently and at its own pace. If the processing service goes down, the messages wait safely in the queue until it recovers. Think of it as a buffer that prevents one part of your system from overwhelming another. For the CCP exam, SQS is the classic answer for decoupling, asynchronous processing, and handling traffic spikes without dropping requests. The icon is a series of horizontal lines, a queue, waiting in order, Amazon SQS. Question 7. Which AWS service is this? Amazon SNS, Simple Notification Service. SNS is a managed pub-sub messaging service that pushes messages to many subscribers at once. You publish one message to an SNS topic, and it fans out simultaneously to email addresses, SMS numbers, HTTP endpoints, SQS queues, and Lambda functions. Think of it as a broadcast tower, one message in, many recipients out. For the CCP exam, know the SQS versus SNS distinction. SQS is pull-based and one-to-one. One consumer reads each message. SNS is push-based and one-to-many. One message goes to all subscribers simultaneously. The icon is a small bell, a notification service, Amazon SNS. Question 8. Which AWS service is this? AWS CloudFormation. CloudFormation is AWS's infrastructure as code service. You define your entire infrastructure, EC2 instances, VPCs, RDS databases, IAM roles, in a YAML or JSON template, and CloudFormation provisions, and manages it all as a single unit called a stack. Change the template, update the stack, and CloudFormation figures out what to add, modify, or delete. Think of it as a blueprint that AWS builds from. For the CCP exam, CloudFormation embodies the cloud architecture principle of treating infrastructure as code, repeatable, version-controlled, and consistent across environments. The icon is a tech stack of components, a blueprint becoming reality. AWS CloudFormation. Question 9. Which AWS service is this? AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Elastic Beanstalk is a platform as a service. You upload your application code and Beanstalk automatically handles the deployment, provisioning EC2 instances, configuring the load balancer, setting up auto-scaling, and monitoring health. You still own the underlying resources, but you don't need to manage them directly. Think of it as handing your code to a capable team who runs the infrastructure for you. For the CCP exam, Beanstalk is the PaaS answer, above EC2, ARS, and below SaaS. It's ideal for developers who want to focus on code, not servers. The icon is a small seedling sprouting. Grow your app without managing the soil. AWS Elastic Beanstalk. Question 10. Which AWS service is this? AWS Trusted Advisor. Trusted Advisor is an automated best practice recommendation engine that analyses your AWS account across 5 pillars: cost optimization, performance, security, fault tolerance, and service limits. It flags things like S3 buckets with public access, underutilized EC2 instances, and security groups with unrestricted SSH access. Think of it as a knowledgeable consultant reviewing your account and handing you a prioritized punch list. For the CCP exam, know the 5 pillars and that some checks are available on all plans, while deeper checks require business or enterprise support. The icon is a small shield with a tick. Trusted, Verified, Advised. AWS Trusted Advisor. 10 services: databases, storage, messaging, deployment, and governance. How many did you get right? Drop your score in the comments below. That's a wrap on episode 11 of Service Recall, CCP Essentials Part 2. If you're building your AWS foundation, these services come up again and again on the exam and in real-world architectures. Subscribe to catch the next episode and check the playlist for Part 1 if you missed it. See you in the next one.